Dr. Oz is a TV man who wanted to be a senator, but it turned out he was a massive loser, so that's not gonna happen. So I guess it's time to go back to TV, but not so fast. He wanted to be the big, crazy, radical right winger, and it turns out not everybody loves that, and that might cause a little bit of an obstacle in getting back the TV career that made him a candidate in the first place. According to an unnamed TV producer speaking with Jezebel, and these are mostly people speaking anonymously yet. We'll see if they start to come out more publicly. But this producer says no one in the mainstream will touch him. You can't alienate half of your audience with a political stance and expect to bring in an audience on your return to television. Radar Online reports that Oz is groveling to everyone he knows in order to revive his daytime talk show about health, but the effort has been dead on arrival. He's considered now too toxic for TV. That same producer says he can't even get a word with his former producers. Dr. Oz is a social creature who likes to hear himself talk, and it's beginning to dawn on him that he's just not wanted in Hollywood circles anymore. And we can speculate about what exactly it was that happened during the campaign that hurt him so much. I mean, some of the political positions, it might be that. It might be, the 300 dogs that it turns out died during his medical experiments, or the fact that he did a high dollar fundraiser in front of Hitler's car, or his comments on abortion, or I don't know, maybe it's the crudité thing. I don't know. There was a lot that happened during that race, but it turns out it's not gonna be such an easy transition back to his former life. Miranda, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is the epitome of play stupid games, win stupid prizes. If you want to quit giving bad health advice on a daytime TV show so that you can go run an unsuccessful and embarrassing Senate race, and then you want to go back to TV show after you, like they said, alienated half of your base, made some absolutely ridiculous claims, you're not going to be able to do that. You alienated half of your voter base. You alienated half the people who watch your show, and you alienated everyone in Hollywood. No one wants to touch you, and it's bad when Fox News and Newsweek don't even want to give you something. They were like, "Oh, you did a good job. You were impressive, but you take that somewhere else. We don't want that here." Yeah. So it's really bad, and no one wants to touch you with a 10-foot pole when Newsweek won't even give you the time of day.
Yeah, to your point, they say that he impressed execs at Fox News and Newsmax, but they haven't made him an offer. It doesn't mean that they can't or whatever, but I love the idea of him going in and then being like, "No, you were great. No, like you were almost too good. It would just overshadow the other people here. So you should probably just be unemployed for a bit." But anyway, we've listed a lot of things that could potentially explain why it is that he's having a hard time convincing execs that he should be a TV man. But as good as all of those are, there are a couple of others that I kind of almost hope it is. So on the more professional side, the fact that because he was in a campaign, it meant that people took a long, hard look at all of the lies that he's told on his show over the years. Like if the idea is that your one skill is giving people medical advice, but it turns out you were just a massive grifter the entire time, selling them like weird mountain berries and then claiming that it's gonna make them lose 60 pounds, then you shouldn't be in that job again. I hope that that's part of it, that all the lies that he's told that I know have been covered in the past, but we really focused on them during the campaign. I would love if it's that. But if it's not that, the reason that I think he should never again be trusted in a medical capacity is the absolutely vicious personal campaign that he ran against Fetterman. He was openly challenging and mocking the guy for his health struggles. And that would be bad for any candidate to do, but for a guy who supposedly is supposed to be the compassionate communicator around health struggles, no, you don't get to come back from that. And so I can't say whether it's any of these things, the ones I prefer, the others, or something else besides, but I don't know. It's nice that at least for now he's struggling. We'll have to see if it lasts or if he eventually ends up on OAN or God only knows what Rumble, I don't know, Cameo. I don't know what he's gonna do, but I don't know. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, so I don't think we've seen the end of Dr. Oz. I think he's going to scrape and claw, and even if he has to scrape the bottom of the barrel, I think he's going to find something. But it is good to feel another win against Oz this time around. It is good to feel that everyone's like, no, we don't want to have you on our show. And he's groveling. I love the image in my head of Dr. Mehmet Oz groveling for a TV slot after all he's done to defraud probably millions of people on his show.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, after he's done scraping the bottom of the barrel, whatever he finds on the bottom of the barrel, he's going to sell to you at an inflated price, saying it's going to make you lose weight and cure diabetes.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.